Jimmy has cancer. On September 11th, 2001, he was one of the many firefighters who exhausted himself rescuing and recovering and uncovering so many bodies in Manhattan on the day of the World Trade Center attacks. Did you know that more than 2,500 of those rescue workers have now been diagnosed with cancer? Jimmy is one of them. It's been scientifically proven that those rescue workers who were there just determined to rescue so many people that day are far more likely than the average person to develop cancer because of all the stuff that they were exposed to from the falling buildings. They were just trying to save people, and they ended up being trapped by something that's really difficult to escape from. That makes me think of Jonah in the Bible. Not in the sense that he was really eager to save anyone. He in fact didn't want to save anyone in the city of Nineveh. God kind of forced him to do that. But in the sense that he knew what it was like to feel trapped in ways that not everybody can understand. In Jonah chapter 2, Jonah described where he was in life after he had been thrown into the water and before the big fish swallowed him. He said this, "The engulfing waters threatened me. The deep surrounded me. Seaweed was wrapped around my head. To the roots of the mountains I sank down. The earth beneath barred me in forever. But you brought my life up from the pit, O Lord my God. When my life was ebbing away, I remembered you, Lord." That was part of a prayer that Jonah offered while he was sitting in the belly of the fish, and that prayer has basically two parts. There's the part in which Jonah thanks God for rescuing him, and then there's the part in which Jonah recalls the details of what it felt like to be trapped in the ocean. And maybe you also know how it feels to be trapped by something difficult and painful in life. Maybe that's sometimes one of the reasons that it's so difficult to move forward in life with joy and confidence. And if that's the case, then I want you to do something. I want you to take Jonah's words and put them into the mouth of Jesus. And then you basically hear Jesus giving a description of what it was like to hang on his cross during his crucifixion. My life was ebbing away. The currents of death were swirling around me. But unlike Jonah, when Jesus cried out for help, no one answered. No one came. Heaven looked and saw the only person to never run away from God's will and just silently watched as the seaweed of our sin wrapped itself around his heart and pulled him to a depth that no one had ever come back from. Just so you and I and every other person who's ever felt trapped by life or by trouble or by sadness or by sin could look at his empty Easter morning grave and find a grace that's just for them, a promise that no matter where you are, no matter where you've been, no matter how far you've run from God, no matter the depths to which you've fallen, God can still reach you. And He will. He will. Even in the depths of the sea, even in the belly of a fish, even in, well, where are you when you feel most helpless? Whatever it is, it's a place where you don't have to feel hopeless. Salvation comes from the Lord, Jonah said later on in chapter 2, and that wasn't a wish. It's a fact. It's a promise.
Have you ever battled depression? Depression is a real burden that so many Christians carry, and so many of the people that we love carry it too. Depression is a complicated mixture of emotional and chemical and spiritual situations, and yet God's grace is enough to help us. Some of you have seen Pastor Jeremy's videos this week as he's encouraged us to go back to God and find strength in Jesus. But the topic of depression is something we want to dig deeper into. That's why I'm encouraging you this week to check out our Time of Grace program as I share with you from the scriptures God's to-do list for the depressed. Interested in watching? Just click on the link in this post.